Hello, my name is Bernadene Voss and I'm the Mayor of the City of Port Phillip. This is an interview as part of Getting to Know the Community series during the pandemic. Today we have Elizabeth Rooney, trained as a social worker but dedicated to her community in Port Phillip. She's connecting organisations and volunteers with those that need it most. Hope you enjoy it. I was very curious to know, who is Elizabeth? How would you describe yourself to the people that are listening here?
I describe myself as someone who still feels a bit new to St Kilda. So previous to this, I actually lived in Sydney, but I lived for 10 years in a very similar area to St Kilda. I actually lived in Redfern for 10 years. So I see sometimes a paradox in that the type of people in Redfern, I actually worked in Redfern as well, and similar to what I'm doing in St Kilda. So
Can you tell me a little bit about who you work with and what you do?
well, I suppose to put it in perspective, my main role is managing an organisation in the community. So as we talk about, so Christchurch Mission Community Centre. And so we have 60 volunteers and run on a shoestring budget. And our primary focus is helping the disadvantaged and the vulnerable and making them part of the community.
Yeah, have you seen sort of the community groups collaborating?
Oh, very much so. I'm talking to people every week because there hasn't been a need to. It's not
Okay.
wanting to. It just, but in the community sector, a lot of volunteers are people who have retired. So as a result, to keep themselves safe, some of them have, quite a number have had to socially isolate. But conversely to that, we have a lot of young people who are working from home who really want to help again. So
Fantastic. Now, you have told me a couple of stories that really warmed my heart, and you can tell those stories about, how you personally have worked with these people and found light at the end of the tunnel for them.
yes, so um, the other day when we were talking, and I think you could tell I got a little bit hyperactive because I was just like one of those harpers. They've got wonderful stories, and that was a person we'll call Fred, who we came to know because he came to see us for a meal on the Wednesday evening, and I'd seen him before, so I started chatting with him, and I'd heard through the grapevine that he was actually living in his car, and so I'd spoken to someone and they told me, oh, Fred wants to keep staying in his car until he's got his long-term housing. And I said, wait a minute, we could get him some really good emergency short-term housing. So why doesn't he do that? I said, oh, no, he won't do that. And me being me, when he came up, I said to Fred, guess what? We're meeting tomorrow and we're going to get you accommodation. No more sleeping in the car unless you want to sleep in the car. And he looked and went, what? I went, yeah, tomorrow, come here. And I gave him a time, said, 12 o'clock, you're coming here, Fred, we're going to get you accommodation. And sure enough, that's what happened. We did that through Launch Housing, who were just amazing. We never thought that was ever going to happen. It's just beautiful. So.
That's fantastic. And I wanted to ask, what's the role that council has played in supporting what you do and some of the vulnerable in the community?
When these ideas came up about being able to distribute meals in different ways, I felt confident enough to ring the council and start off with someone and saying, okay, we've got this idea. Who do we talk with? How do we go about this? And the council put us in contact with different people so that it could start going, and that's exactly what's happening. So
that's good. It sounds like a good relationship there.
Yeah, it's a positive relationship, and the council being one where I trust the council. I trust the people that I talk with the council, because we again both have a common goal. So we want to see how we can get something to work. And the way you get things to work is being honest and talking about, okay, this is really what we're wanting to do, or this is what we need. Does this fit your guidelines? Do we need to change anything? Can you help us? Is there a way you can help us? And that has really positive outcomes.
Now, you work with around, I think, 30 other organisations, which is quite a lot. Anyone from, say, Sacred Heart to Port Phillip Community Group, I think you said Food Bank and RACV. A couple of the ones that I found particularly interesting, one was Garden Nomads and Little Pantry.
Oh, yeah.
Just wondering if you could talk a little bit about Little Pantry, which is on the Ackland Street frontage outside of Christchurch there.
So the Little Pantry is an initiative that was set up a few years ago by the community centre because we're not open 24/7. There's no organisation that's open 24/7. So it was a great idea that Father Tui had in the community centre that to put up on the front gate a box, which we call a pantry box, which people can put food in for the vulnerable, the needy in the community. They can walk past and choose something that they might need, whether it's a can of baked beans, some cereal, long life milk, those type of items. And we oversee that. We look after the Little Pantry, but we also promote it. So I think, as one of the things I was saying to you, it'd be fantastic to keep promoting it. And one of the ways is during the pandemic, when we're all going out for a healthy exercise, why not have 2 cans of something in your hands, walk past us on Ackland Street and put it in the pantry, because that's your way of contributing to the community.
So you do some weight training as well as adding food to the pantry. That's fantastic.
Win-win.
What a great idea,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And it's all about collaboration, and you do that connection so well. I'm wondering, Elizabeth, if you could ask the community or people that are watching this, if they're inclined, and inspired by the conversation that we're having. There's 3 things that you could ask them if they're wanting to help out. Are you able to let them know what that might be?
Yes. So one of the things we would appreciate, because we are a small organisation, we don't receive a lot of money, is that we do have a website, and there's a Give Now button that people can push. And even if and we realise it's a hard time for most people financially, but even if they give $5, that's some sugar that we can buy, put in packets for people who are in need. Food donations, give us a call. And we can give an idea. If you've got something you'd like to offer, give us a call. We'll see what we can do. And the third thing is, yes, we're always willing to take on volunteers. We love people to be part of what we're doing. And it's, as we say, a win-win situation. That would be great.
So fantastic. So financial donation, donation of items of food in particular, and also volunteering. So that's terrific. That's very clear about what your organisation could do with more of.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for talking with us today, with me today anyway.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time, and thank you.